They inspired the lyrics to a 70s funk classic and were a fixture in 90s hip-hop videos. Lowriders occupy a unique space in pop culture, but their roots reach back further than you might think. Now a new exhibition in Los Angeles examines the origins of lowriders and where they're traveling to next. Inside the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, there are jewels on display that have a criminal past.
This is Troquita Loca. This is a truck that also features an intricate paint job and murals that represent the Mexican Revolution.
Once in trouble with the law, lowriders are now works of art.
This is as low as you can go.
Curated here by Autumn Neary.
They are intricately engraved, painted, detailed, engines, undercarriages. Every part of these cars are touched to be really artworks and to showcase Latino culture.
That culture, still vibrant, remains true to roots planted some 80 years ago by young Chicano men in the Southwest. Then they transformed discarded Chevys and added hydraulics to raise and lower the cars. Flashy paint jobs made them beacons for the police, who saw it all as bad boy behavior and made arrests. California passed a law banning lowriding and cruising. Why now?
The exhibition actually coincides with the repeal in California of the lowrider ban on cruising. So it's sort of timely in that we're celebrating the roots of this car culture as cruising the boulevards.
So museums through exhibits make a statement. What is the Peterson Museum trying to say?
We're making the statement that these are the pinnacle of car modifications, that these are artworks, they're cultural artworks, and that they deserve to be celebrated in a museum setting.
Double trouble.
This one was created primarily to win car competitions, and it was Lowrider of the Year 3 times in a row, which is the most that any car can win that title.
And today on the streets, when the lowriders show their stuff, some have added police sirens to mock the time when they were criminalized. Ironic, too, the celebrity status the cars received as stars in commercials.
Detailing every detail.
And in movies.
Lowriding is all around the world. It really has become a global phenomenon.
They've gone wild.
They've gone definitely wild.
Now that's a lowrider. Cruising through this exhibit, the cars here are pinnacles of wildness.
This Lincoln Continental is known as Las Vegas. This really plush, elaborate interior style sort of came about in the 70s, but we wanted to feature one of those truly over-the-top interiors.
So craps, you have blackjack, poker.
A little bit of everything. You could have a whole game night just with this vehicle.
And slot machines even.
Yes.
It's a sea of cars with personalities.
This is one of my favorite vehicles in the exhibition. This one is from Japan. This is so special because it appears to be engraved, but what is actually happening is a thick special paint has been applied and the paint has been engraved. And our other car from Japan is here. This is Sphinx, and it features a really glittery paint job, which has become a hallmark of a lot of Japanese lowriders.
And look at that interior velvet.
There is nothing that is not elaborate on this car.
And then there's this car.
Yes, this is Game Killer, a Chevy Caprice, and this was built by Tina Blankenship Early, known as the First Lady of Lowriding and a great figure in the lowrider community.
Tina Blankenship is certainly a star among lowriders, showing too it's no longer just a men's club. This is your backyard.
Yes.
The garage. Her museum piece was built out back at her South Central Los Angeles home. This is a hot rod.
Yes.
How do we know this is a hot rod?
Because it has the big wheels on it.
And that's a lowrider.
That's a lowrider.
Because of the little wheels?
And the suspension. 64 Impala.
Does it bounce?
Yes, it does.
She says she first learned about car mechanics from old men in the neighborhood. A job she had installing car radios helped her realize she could take cars apart and put them back together.
You want to drive it?
You gonna let me drive?
Yeah.
Sicky, let's do it. Put it in park. Go take it for a spin. Your seatbelt on.
You might need a booster seat.
I think I might. Is this three-wheeling?
Yeah.
Lowrider. How'd I do? Thanks, sis. What Tina Blankenship is also showing is that even lowriding became a culture of change, personal too for Autumn Neary,
She's a working girl.
a curator at the Peterson Automotive Museum.
The lowrider culture wasn't always kind to women.
I think women were objectified in a lot of ways on the paint jobs, the murals that are featured, very sexually explicit. There were even vehicles that we considered showing here that were a little too risque for some of our audiences.
Still, the lowriders speak to a global phenomenon and may hold a lesson beyond cars. Cultural differences, given time, may not be different at all. There may be a hidden art worth celebrating.
Oh, the exhibit at the Peterson Automotive Museum, which is pretty fabulous, I have to say, will continue until May 5th. This is exposure beyond exposure. I've never seen anything like this. But, you know, Game Killer has a special place in my heart.
You look good in the car. Let me say this, Tina, thank you for letting her drive.